So here it is, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. And essentially this is the best Samsung has to offer at the moment, all crammed into one large package, and it's pretty nice. It's a pretty decent spec bump this year, so if specs are your thing, here's a quick rundown. We get a Snapdragon 865 Plus processor, 12 gigs of RAM, 5G capabilities, a 4500 milliamp hour battery, expandable storage, and a whopping 120 Hz display. Just keep in mind that you can't run it alongside its full resolution, but fundamentally it is a display that many consider to be one of the best in the market. It comes in at 6.9 inches, it is a Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED display, but all this will run you a low starting price of $1,300. And so I guess you could say that it's mainly not meant for the average user. I'd say if you're a heavy power user or someone that just likes having the latest and greatest in tech, then this is it. And with that, this phone really isn't for everyone. I mean, besides the price point, the mere size of this thing, it's just huge. Now, don't get me wrong, having a display this size when consuming any sort of content, to put into simpler terms, is just plain amazing. Even with Samsung deciding to keep the hole punch design, I mean, unless you're really looking for it, it doesn't get in the way. It's really easy to just disregard. The display also has curved edges this year, and personally I don't mind them. I mean, I did have a couple of accidental touches ever so often, but nothing too crazy. And I know there's probably a ton of you that think I'm crazy or would rather have that flat design instead. But not all is bad. We do get that super nice high refresh rate of 120 Hz, although it is limited to full HD, and it is a bit of a bummer since you're practically paying a kidney for this. You would assume that we would have full control, but we don't. And I mean, we've seen it done on other smartphones, so I'm not sure why Samsung still limits us. Regardless, the 120 Hz has been exceptional on this device. It's night and day when compared to the Note 10's 60 Hz display. Also, the glass on the front and back are Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, which promises better drop and scratch resistance, and it holds true. For the most part, I've been using the phone without a case and can't really see any scratches or blemishes, but I guess only time will tell. Now, I would have loved to have seen a lineup of all frosted finishes, but that only holds true with the new bronze colorway. The Mystic Black here is literally a fingerprint magnet, hence the glossy finish, so a scanner case would be highly recommended as it would help with adding better grip. But that still doesn't take away from the overall design of the phone. Fairly thin bezels with a nearless uninterrupted display just make the phone feel and look premium. A few new changes are the placement of the volume rockers and power button. They're now on the right side as opposed to its predecessor that had them on the left. Oh, and the S Pen also got shifted over. It sort of comes with a learning curve though, especially since I was used to seeing it on the right side. But no biggie, I'm sure Samsung had the reasoning behind it. But lefties rejoice. Now, for all those S Pen users out there, it also saw an upgrade this year, and a pretty major one. Essentially, the latency has been improved down to 9 milliseconds, and it's noticeable. It definitely feels a lot more fluid and responsive, at least when jotting notes down. And so if you're someone that lives for the S Pen, you'll be happy with this year's upgrade. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the camera. Now, initially, I think you'll have two impressions when you first see this thing. Damn, this is huge, or damn, this is a beast. And I think you'll mostly notice it when laying it flat on a surface, but once you get past that initial impression, I think you can truly appreciate the hardware for what it is. The images it captures are great, and it also still manages to hold true to that Samsung palette of high saturation and great dynamic range. And we see those camera upgrades in the form of the standard camera lens that sits at 108 megapixels, while the ultra wide and periscope sit equally at 12. Now, the 50 times zoom is here as well. It's not something that I personally use so often, and I'm not sure it would be something that you would constantly use, but it's there if you need it to be. And on the other hand, it also shoots 4K and an upwards of 8K, and all I can say is, damn, this is impressive. Now, what I'm sure a lot of people will like about this device, including myself, is that you get some really nice natural depth due to how large that main sensor is, so you get some really nice bokeh. And so again, this is a great device. It literally has top of the line specs. Just one thing that I will mention is that the battery life, although it's not a complete letdown, it is something to keep in the back of your mind that due to the fact that this is a lot of phone, it's going to struggle to make it through a full day of use. But in regards of performance and just overall experience, this is definitely a solid device. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss another video, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.